Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Sam. Sam is from Lebanon in the Middle East, but he lives in San Francisco in California in the USA. So let's see what Sam has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Sam.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello, I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How's everything?
Very good also. Right, Sam. So before we start the game, tell me where you're from.
I am from San Francisco, California. Originally, I am not from San Francisco. I moved here 8 years ago. I'm originally from Beirut, Lebanon. And yes, I moved to San Francisco back in 2014.
Right. And why? Why San Francisco?
That is the question. Everybody asks me why San Francisco. I started my life with a career that is hairstyling, and we had a big company back home that came to the salon one time and said, "Hey, we have this challenge for you, all of you, not only me and all my coworkers, and like we have a challenge for you. You have this amount. You have to sell products for that company for that amount this month, and if you do it, you will get to travel to the US and watch that hair show in New York." So I was just all over the place selling everybody all the products, you know what I mean? Like I was 18, 19 years old, where all those, oh, USA, I just want to go, like, you know what, I have to do it and I have to go. So I did, and I ended up coming on the trip, and we came that time to New York, San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. But the two, New York and San Francisco, were like everything to me. But I went back home and I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to go to live. I really want to move to the US, and especially to San Francisco, you know. And they were like, no, you know how parents are. You're not going to do that. You're not going to go anywhere. So it took me a year and a half to save up all my money, and I moved. I got here in 2014, and I'm becoming citizen this year.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a long journey. It's home. So San Francisco is home.
Amazing. And what's the best part of living in San Francisco, in your opinion?
The best part, there's a lot of those. Community here is different. People here are different. Accepting is different. You can go all over, even in the US right now. You can't find an accepting city as much as San Francisco is to everybody. So I live literally in downtown, and I can see all kind of things around me. I can see the homelessness situation. I can see the rich people situations. I can see everything in San Francisco. But at the end of the day, everywhere I go, everywhere I travel, the moment I get back to SF, it's like, oh, thank God, it's home, you know? It's just like a lot of people can't handle it. A lot of people say it's too expensive. It is too expensive. But at the same time, when you work your ass off, you can just live a decent life, you know what I mean? And thank God, I'm living a decent life and I'm happy about it.
Amazing. And what do you do for a living, Sam?
Okay, now, it's a whole story. I am, as I said earlier, I was a hairstylist. I came to the US, I got my license here, and I started working in big name salons over here. I started doing a lot of education. I became an educator for a lot of hairstylists. But one day, that's back in 2017, I would say, I met a person. And that was Dr. Alexis Petra, which I was doing her hair. And by that time, I knew she was a transgender woman. And we became so close. So today, she is my chosen sister. She is literally the closest person in my life to me right now. And back in 2020, she came out and she found Trans Clinique. Trans Clinique is a telemedicine clinic, virtual clinic for all transgender and non-binary people over 27 states right now. We are in 27 states. and I am the director of business development and the marketing manager, social media manager for all that. And it has been a crazy journey since 2020 until now. Just seeing us going up and up and up, especially for some cause, working for the community, letting the word out, standing by other people. It's just amazing.
Amazing. Very good. I can see how much you enjoy what you're doing now with your with the company.
Yes, 100%. It's amazing. It's amazing. We just have a lot of things we do with TransClinic. We have something weekly on Zoom, like what we're doing today. It's called Trans Tuesday. We get professional doctors, therapists, like plastic surgeons, voice control, everything, to all those people, makeup artists, hairstylists, to all those people who are in other states and they can't get an advice, you know what I mean, from a lot of people, because laws in the US is different between every single state. So you can have a law that is you have the right to do this here, but in that state you don't have the right to do that here, you know what I mean? So we're trying to build a community over telemedicine, over virtual clinic, to make everybody hear and get whatever they want to hear.
Amazing. Very good. I think it's a beautiful job. It is a beautiful project for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Dan, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of view?
Sure, let's do it.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my lovely box full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay? Let's do it. Okay, Sam, so just before we start the game, through the game, there is a question that you don't have an answer for, don't want to talk for some reason, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly.
Sure.
First question for you is, when was the last time that you laughed so hard that made you cry?
I mean, I do that all the time. What I left a message yesterday from somebody, it made me crack up. So that was last night, I guess. Yes.
And what was the message about, if you can share?
Say that again?
What was the message about, if you can share?
Oh, I can't say that. That was something, yes, that we were trying to talk about something and something came up from a long time ago that made us laugh so hard. Yes.
Very good. Next one. Before the next question, tell me so far, what's the most, what do you like the most about this project, TransClinic? What's the most reward thing for you? And what's the most challenging part?
All right, let's start with the challenging part. The challenging part with this project, TransClinic, is getting the word out to those who can't or don't know anything about the situation they are. We have been working all over social media, everything, to try to let the word out to those folks who have to know about us. You know what I mean? Have to know that there's someone out there. There's this clinic who want to help the community to get to where they want to get. This is the challenging thing. We're trying to reach out, but at the same time, it has been improving so good, and I'm really happy about it. The rewarding thing is the smiles, the laugh, the feeling you get when you got to answer a question to some of those people, to help them with any kind of help they need, even just give them an advice or something that they have been looking for all over, you know what I mean? And they didn't hear it from anybody. Just like I did sometimes when I go all over San Francisco to the bars, and I just get the mic from my drag queen friends and sponsors and everything, and I talk about TransClinic. You feel like everyone is silent, everyone's listening, because there's not a lot like TransClinic out there, and people need this nowadays. So to see this support, people donating to our fundraisers, it's just amazing. It makes me feel like I am doing something for my community. This is very rewarding for me.
Good. Next question for you is, what are you most passionate about?
Most passionate about, there's a couple things. I think my family and my transclinic project right now. This is all my passion. But as I said, as a person of color, an immigrant from the Middle East, you know how we grow up just emotional. We have a great connection. The culture make us have a great connection with our family, with our parents. So being away for that long time, it's not the easiest thing. Even though I went back home back in March of 2021, and it was good to see them and everything, but everything have changed. So at the same time, going back there made me know even more how much more passionate about my family I am. You know what I mean? And of course, Transclinic is taking all my time. So this is what you can tell. I am very passionate about it.
Very good. Very good. It's visible.
Yes. Awesome.
Next one. Let's do it. Next question, Sam. What bores you?
What boards me?
What bores you? Make you feel bored.
Oh, stupid people. I need to step aside from that. Sorry, I said it out loud, but just like, I don't like people who are impatient, especially when you're just so busy and you don't have time to explain to people why you're just a little bit away or trying to do something different. People are impatient, and this is what makes me boring in that situation. I'm bored. I need to step aside. I need to move on. At the same time, I get bored from repetitive things like routines. I'm a person who just wanna keep on figuring things out, new things out, challenging myself to do this or challenging myself to do that, even though I feel like, oh, there's gonna be some, you're gonna stumble and fall a couple times before you get there. But at the same time, if I don't challenge myself, I would never get to where I wanna get. So just sitting and being on a routine, it's very boring for me.
Next question. Next question for you, Sam. Would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? And what would you do?
Invisible or fly? I think fly. And why? Because invisible, I mean, I can be invisible anytime. I can just walk on the streets and not answer anybody, and I act like I'm invisible, you know? But flying is, I don't know. That's a big question. Why flying? Birds fly in different directions. So this is what I'm gonna say. Flying is very important to see things differently, to see the world from another point of view. And yes, I would love to fly with the birds, of course.
And if you could fly somewhere right now, somewhere in the world, where would you fly?
To go see my mom and give her a big hug.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Very sweet.
Yes.
Do you have siblings as well?
Yes.
Do you have siblings as well?
Yeah, I do have my older brother. He's a couple of years older than me. I have my younger brother. He's married, and now he have a little niece. She's my little girl, my niece. She's 1 year right now. And I have a young sister. She just turned 19 years old.
Oh, big family.
Yes. Big family.
Next one. So before the next question, being a queer guy, a gay guy, did you always have the support of your family?
Absolutely not. Because again, where I come from is it's forbidden or it's illegal or what, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, my family, especially my parents, have been the most open-minded people in my life since I grew up to this world, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I never came to them and tell them, hey, this is what's happening with me. But I always had a feeling that they know that I'm a queer person. We never talked about it until 2017 when I was here, and it was National Coming Out Day in the US. And I woke up and I saw all my friends on Facebook and on Twitter, on everyone, just like talking about their coming out stories and everything. They were like, I need to do something, you know what I mean? So I took my phone, literally, I did not hesitate for a second to call my mom and come out to her that day. I came out to her, I came out to my dad, and all my siblings were there at the same time. My mom started crying. My dad gave the phone to my mom and walked away. So I just yelled back. I said, like, hey, where are you going? You've always been supportive. Do you think Sam's gonna be a different person because he's a queer person? He was like, absolutely not. And you are who you are, and you will always be my son. And I love you, whatever way you are. And that's the same word. The same words came out from my mom. My sister was like 15 years old, 16 that time. So she started crying too because she saw my mom crying. And I told her that time, well, why are you crying? Do you even understand what a queer person is? She was like, no. I was like, okay, I will talk to you and I will explain everything. So I talked to her and explained everything to her. And I asked her after that, well, do you think Sam have changed? Or is he still your brother and nothing's gonna change? So like, no, nothing's gonna change. And now I love you more because you tell me more about those stuff. So the support of the family just lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. And I am proud of them and I love them to death.
Amazing. You said something very interesting, Sam. Is I totally believe as well. Sometimes our parents, they know us better than ourselves. They know us very well. Do you know what I mean? Of course, sometimes they don't want to talk about because society, they don't want to think about because the world out there can be a bit hard in this topic, but they know very well their child, for sure.
100%. And it didn't go that well with my brother, my older brother. So he took almost a year and a half time to get back to me. But all that year and a half, I gave him space. Trust me. I will give an advice to everybody that's trying to come out, and some of their family members oppose or say no or don't like that. Give them time, because everyone, even us queer people, when something happened with us, we need time to think about things. We need time to like make it work. You know what I mean? So it took my brother a year and a half, and I always asked about him. I talked to mom and asked her about him. And a year and a half after, he messaged me, he called me, I love you the way you are, blah, blah, blah. And now we're literally best friends, me and my older brother.
Amazing. And sometimes as well, we need to educate them. Sometimes we need to understand that they don't understand, they don't have knowledge sometimes.
They have any clue about it, yes.
Yeah, we need to educate them, and so we need to put ourselves in their shoes as well, not like be upset or anything. Yeah.
But heading and fighting is a bad idea. Just give them time to
understand.
Digest.
Yes. Absolutely. Next question is, if you could be in somebody's skin for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
If a lot of people, you know, especially with COVID happening and something we never dealt with, all of us, I do believe that COVID have changed at least one thing in each and every one of us, at least mentally, physically, relationship-wise, friendship-wise. I would be in some people's life. I'm not gonna say a person, a she or a he or something. I'm just gonna be, let's say, answer that in general. I will be in someone's place to understand or see how are they thinking about this. What is making them down? What is giving them depression? What is giving them anxiety? Because trust me, if I can be in every single one's head right now and tell them it's gonna be okay, I would do that right now.
Very good. Next question, Sam. question for you is, if you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
24 hours of life?
Life, what would you do?
Only 24 hours of life? Oh my God. A lot of things, but I don't think I can do all of them because it's only 24 hours. It takes me 24 hours to get back home. And I think 21 hours to get back home, and I'll spend 3 hours with my mom, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
I have 3 questions left for you, okay?
Of course.
Let's do it. But before the next one, as you're saying about how much you love living in San Francisco, but in your opinion, what's the most challenging part?
There's a couple things that are challenging, but trust me, I would say it out loud to everybody. Complaining too much is not going to take us anywhere. If we don't do something, if we don't work and make the community better to make our voice heard higher and louder, it's not gonna go anywhere. You can't just complain about the homeless person under your apartment or under your building and you're just sitting at home doing nothing. You don't even read about it or just know more about it and know what is that's happening. Trust me, there's a lot of government issues all over the world. It's not only in San Francisco. The challenging part, yes, which is I feel unsafe sometimes. I've lived here for 8 years. It's not unsafe in a bad way. I have beautiful people around me. I have amazing children family, a beautiful community. I go everywhere. But sometimes, especially lately, it's not about fearing for myself or scared. I'm a person who don't like to see anyone hurt. And I don't want to see someone in front of me hurt on the street. I don't want to see someone hurting themselves on the streets. I don't want to see someone hurting someone else. This is just not a good thing to see because that would lead in a lot of things to traumatic things after, you know what I mean? Maybe with me, maybe a lot of people. So the challenging thing, yes, it is nowadays more than before the homelessness thing. And I know they're working really hard to make this a better issue in San Francisco. And it became a little bit better, I'm gonna say that, but I hope they keep doing that to get to a point where we're safe 100%.
Very good. Next one is, what's the biggest prize you ever won?
I'm gonna win it in a couple months, which is gonna be my citizenship to the US, because I think this is a big prize that would make me proud with my high. I am proud already. My high is really high. And yeah, this is an accomplishment because I went up and down over 1 billion times before I get there. So that's gonna be a really big prize for me.
You very good.
Thank you.
Well done. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is a significant event that has changed you?
Well, a lot, I think. Not only one, but I'm a single person. I've always been single since I came out of my mom. So I've tried dating a lot. It always happened to be not a good thing to me, but this is making me learn about a lot about myself. So every single time I try dating or something, I learn something new about myself. So now, when I just reached 30 years old, I do think that I have a notebook that I'll be looking at a person I'm gonna date right now from the beginning, because it's just not very cool to just get to know somebody and have feelings for them and have the butterflies for them and everything, and then they do something just exactly like a person before, so and just break everything out, you know what I mean? So now I'm just like, I notice more, I know what I want more, you know what I mean?
Ready for the last one?
Yes, that's gonna be the last question, right?
Let's do it.
Yes.
But before the last question, just tell me, when I was looking at your Facebook profile, there was a phrase there saying, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. What do you mean by that phrase?
I am here and I am queer and get used to it. So this is a saying I've always believed in, because we always have to be here. We always, as queer people or straight people or whatever, we always have to be here. And as a queer person, I'm more proud of myself that I am around. I am in a community. I am in the city, which is the capital of queerness in the whole world, San Francisco. So I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. Let's get to the point. Like, I'm queer, obviously. To get to the last part of it, get used to it. This is out to everybody that they have something bad to say about us, about our queerness, about our communities, about our lives. Because even if you're not a queer person, you've been in some trauma before. So your trauma is not more validated than mine or yours or whatever. We all deal with traumas in our life, and being queer people, we deal with that trauma times 10 or 100. So you better respect us. You better, if you don't want to be there for us, just shut up. Don't say anything. You know what I mean? I love saying something. I've always said it. No one is literally harder on us than us. So if anyone out there have something bad to say about us, just take it and shove it up your toot.
Right. Last question for you is tough question. How do you think you'll die, or how would you like to die if you could choose?
How do I think I want to die, or how will I die? I don't know. I don't want to die. I just leave it to the world. Just leave it to whatever is written for me out there. I am not a person who think about dying at all. It's not like I'm scared or something. It's something that's gonna happen to me, to you, to everybody. And I just want to take a second to, there's a lot of people this year who died, a lot of queer people who died, a lot of trans people who died, and they're still dying out there. Dying is not easy, because it doesn't hurt only the person who's gone. It hurts a lot of people around us. It hurts people who loves us and cares about us, and they're there for us. So I don't really like the dying subject, because it takes me to a very sensitive spot. But again, we all are gonna die sometime. So let's just let it be for now, and I hopefully we're gonna live a better life, so we don't die.
long life, long
life.
Tom, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Sure.
Money.
Important.
Family.
Very important.
How about love?
Born to be breaking.
Okay. Sex.
Fun.
Life.
Life, unfair.
Politics.
Disgusting.
Religion.
I don't know what to say about that, because I do think a lot of people still believe in religion, but at the same time, it's not my thing.
Okay. How about fear?
I hate it.
One word for friendship.
Very important.
Desire.
Hmm. Cool.
Regrets.
No regrets.
Good one. Success.
Proud.
One word for wish.
A lot of wishes, not only one wish.
Very good. Happiness.
We all deserve it.
One word for San Francisco.
Home.
One word for Lebanon.
Home.
And and the last one now, TransClinic.
TransClinic.
Yeah,
Everything.
very good. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, what's the most beautiful thing about Sam, and what's something that he still needs to improve on, to work on? What do you think your best friend will tell me?
Best thing about Sam, sweetness. Something you have to work on, temper.
Some work in progress.
Yes, there's a lot of work in progress. Yes, I lose temper in very short times because I'm very passionate. You know, I just want to fix things sometimes on the spot, and it doesn't work that way all the time.
Let's play now, Sam, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. So you can ask me a question now, Sam.
What made you do this and why?
Right, good question. I always had a dream, and I've always been very fascinated about connecting with people. I find people so interesting. I think all of us, we have a lot to share, a lot to share with the world. I think everyone is the same time we are so different, but at the same time as well we are very similar. And I think I always want to do a project where I could connect with people around the globe. And through the pandemic, the first lockdown we had 2020, this idea literally just came along. This idea, I went for a run one day in the park, and this idea just came along. And I said to myself, okay, that's something that I'm going to do. That's something I'm gonna be creative. I've always been very creative. And but this interaction, what I'm doing now in the Magic Box, through my life, I've always done. I realized that since I was a teenager or younger, when I was traveling with friends, when I was doing some like going to parties, I always was like, oh, tell me something interesting about your childhood. Who is your best teacher? So I had this kind of interaction. So I start think about, and I start write the questions. I start doing some research, and here I am connected with the words right now, and it's been amazing. Just you know what I mean. I'm so fortunate to be able to connect with people, so interesting people around the world, sharing their life stories and sharing their point of views. I think I'm very lucky. So that's the answer for you.
That is so impressive, and I'm proud of you doing this because I know how hard this is to do and to deal with, because I deal with everything the same way you're dealing with, and it takes a lot of work. Thankfully, I live in San Francisco, in the technology city, where I can just ask a friend if I have a problem and they can help me, but it is brain frying sometimes. So I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for doing this. This is amazing. Keep it up. And thank you for having me. That was amazing.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for taking your time. I know you are very busy as well. Thanks so much for doing this beautiful project called TransClinic. I think it's something that a lot of people, they need some information. They need to know as well. There are so many people around the globe facing the same situation as well. And I'm sure when they see that, they can contact and can connect with people around the world as well. I think it's a very beautiful thing as well.
100%. We're here for everybody. Just reach out, and we hopefully can get the help you need out to you as soon as we can.
Beautiful, beautiful. But just before we go, I'd like just to tell a positive message or something that inspires in life.
What inspires me in life? Communities. Because I'm gonna be honest about one thing again and again and again. Family does not have to be your biological family, because there's a lot of families that don't accept us for who we are. Thankfully, my family did, but a lot out there, families and parents are not accepting. Please be kind. Please be kind. and like as they say, in the world you can be anything, just be kind, because anyone right now would just need to hear something really nice, because everyone is dealing with a lot right now. So I hope those people who are in need to hear a good message, or they need of a hug, or they need to a tap on a shoulder or something, please be patient. We all love you and we're all there for you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for the message. Sam,
Of course.
thanks so much, okay? Keep in
Thank
touch.
you so much, William. Thank you so much. Bye.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.